All right, welcome to our deep dive into Looka. This online platform is making some serious waves in the world of branding and design.
Definitely.
So picture this, you're launching a business, right? Let's say a cool vintage clothing store.
Okay, I like it.
And you know you need a logo, something that just screams retro. But you don't even know where to start. Looka aims to make that whole process a lot less intimidating,
It really does.
using AI to make creating a logo easy for anyone.
Yeah, what's really interesting about Looka is it's not just about churning out generic designs. It actually guides you through this process
Oh, okay.
of, figuring out your brand's personality, which is honestly so crucial for any business that wants to succeed.
Totally. So it's not just about a pretty picture. It's about strategy. Can you walk us through how it actually works?
For sure.
Yeah.
So Looka has this three-step system. Okay, first, you give it information about your business,
Gotcha.
like what industry you're in, who your target audience is, and the overall aesthetic you're going for. So sticking with that vintage clothing store we talked about,
Yeah, love it.
you might tell Looka that you want something, that kind of evokes that classic fashion vibe, maybe with like a 70s color palette, something like that.
Okay, cool. So then what happens? Does the AI go off and just make a million different logos?
Well, not exactly. It's actually pretty smart about it. The Looka AI, it's been trained on like a huge database of logos and design principles.
Wow.
So it analyzes what actually makes a logo, visually appealing, but also what makes it effective.
Right, right.
So it takes all your input and then it generates a bunch of custom mockups, each with its own distinct style.
That's awesome. So even if someone isn't a designer,
Hmm.
they can start to see, oh, these are all the different ways that my brand could be represented visually.
Exactly. And the best part is, if you don't love any of those initial designs, it's totally fine. Looka has this editing tool so you can tweak stuff.
Oh, nice.
Like you can change the colors, fonts, symbols, even the layout.
You really have all the control.
You shape the final design.
That makes a lot of sense. You get the benefit of like the AI doing all that hard work, but you still have the flexibility to make it, truly your own.
Totally.
So what happens when the logo's done? I can't exactly print a website banner from a JPG, right?
Right. Well, that's where the Looka brand kit comes in.
Okay.
They actually give you like 15 different file types.
15.
Yeah, including SVGs for scalability and high-res PNGs.
Yeah.
That means you can use your logo on anything,
Okay.
from business cards to merch to that website banner you mentioned.
That's great. That's so much more than just like slapping a logo on a Word doc or something.
Totally.
So it really is like having a designer on call in a way.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
And they actually even provide a getting started guide
Oh, cool.
that explains logo usage and like the basics of branding.
Yeah.
They also give you different logo variations like black and white, color, and transparent backgrounds.
Oh, smart.
So you're equipped to use your logo, professionally.
Yeah, that's a detail that a lot of people don't even think about until it's too late.
Definitely.
So Looka is really trying to cover all the bases here.
They really are. And it doesn't stop there.
What? There's more.
Yeah. The brand kit also makes marketing materials
Oh,
using your logo and color palettes. So
Okay.
business cards, social media templates.
No way.
Everything you need to launch a cohesive brand.
So we've got AI-powered design, multiple file types, a brand kit that handles all your marketing visuals. Is there anything Looka doesn't do?
Well, it won't write your website copy for you,
Okay, that's fair.
but it does go a step further, and it gives you over $3,000 in partner offers.
$3,000.
Yeah, things like discounts on website hosting and marketing tools,
Wow.
which are super valuable when you're just starting out.
That's huge. It's like a built-in support system to help get your business going.
Exactly.
So Looka claims to do all this right. But are there any real-world examples of brands that have used it successfully?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One example is Spoon and Fork. They're a food blog based in New York.
Yeah.
Their logo, they made it with Looka. It's super clean, super simple. It's this playful fork and spoon icon.
I love that.
I know, right? And it really captures like their focus on food and their approachable, fun style.
That's what I love about a good logo. It's like instantly recognizable.
Yeah,
And it tells you something about the brand without needing a ton of text.
right.
Any other examples that you like?
Yeah, for sure. Vivox, they're a tech company in Paris. They use Looka to create like this abstract modern logo using like geometric shapes.
Nice.
It gives off this sense of innovation and like forward thinking, which, perfectly aligns with their work in the tech industry.
So Looka isn't just for one specific style or industry. It's adaptable to like a bunch of different brands' needs.
Exactly, yeah. Luca's also worked with Gravity Wave. They're an Australian company. focused on ocean plastic,
Ah,
and Spacebox, a self-storage startup in Zurich. I think the variety of brands that are using Looka really shows how versatile it is.
it does. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we laid a good foundation here. In part two, we'll dig into some of those features we've talked about and really see what makes Looka stand out from the crowd.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, welcome back. In part one, we got a pretty good overview of Looka, this AI-powered design platform that's making branding, supposedly a breeze.
Yeah.
We talked about their process, the brand kit, even saw some success stories. Now, I want to dive a little deeper into some of those unique features that set Looka apart.
Okay, yeah. So one feature that really impressed me was their AI-powered logo generation.
Hmm.
And it's not just about, like throwing random designs at you.
Right.
It actually analyzes a ton of data,
Oh,
like design principles, industry trends, your specific input, to make logos that are both visually appealing, but also like strategically aligned with your brand.
so it's not just about aesthetics. There's actually like intelligence baked into the system.
Totally.
That considers things like target audience and market trends.
Exactly, yeah. Looka's AI, it's actually been trained on like millions of logos,
Wow.
learning what makes certain designs successful in different contexts. So even if you don't have any design experience,
Right.
you're still benefiting from all of that knowledge when Looka makes your mock-ups.
That's so cool. It's like having like a little design expert whispering in your ear,
Totally.
guiding your choices. But, even with AI doing all that work,
Yeah.
isn't there like a risk of getting a logo that just looks like everyone else's?
That's a fair point, but I think Looka addresses that in a couple of ways. So first, the AI looks at your specific input, right? Like your industry, target audience, the style you want,
Gotcha.
and that makes sure that the designs it creates are, actually tailored to your needs. Second, Looka gives you that editing tool we talked about, so you can tweak the designs and make them truly your own.
Right. So it's more of a collaborative process then. Like the AI is a starting point.
Yeah.
And you, the user, get the final say.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a partnership,
Yeah.
between human creativity and artificial intelligence to get you the best of both worlds.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sold on the AI logo generation. What else stood out to you?
Well, remember how we talked about Looka's brand kit?
Yeah.
It does way more than just generating those marketing materials.
Yep.
It actually has this feature called a brand guide, which is like a rule book for keeping your branding consistent.
A rule book. I'm listening.
Okay, so it lists all the essential parts of your visual identity.
Okay.
So like you'll find your logo variations, your color palette, the fonts you want to use, even guidelines for your brand voice and tone.
Whoa, so it's not just about how things look,
Yeah.
but how your brand sounds too.
Yeah, it's super valuable. It's like a reference point for you.
Yeah.
And like anyone you work with,
Okay.
designers, marketers, even employees, making sure everyone's on the same page when it comes to representing your brand.
That's smart. It's like having a branding Bible,
Right.
assuring consistency across the board. From your website to your social media, even your customer service emails.
It saves you so much time and headache later on.
Totally.
Instead of like constantly questioning color choices.
Yeah.
Or font pairings, you have this guide to refer back to.
That's amazing.
It just keeps your brand cohesive and, professional.
Okay, that's really impressive. But what about social media? I feel like that's where a lot of businesses, really struggle to maintain a consistent look and feel.
Oh, for sure. Social media is like essential for any brand these days. But creating good content that's on brand and engaging, it can be hard.
It can be.
But luckily, Looka's got you covered there too.
Okay, tell me more.
So they offer a ton of social media templates
Okay.
for all the big platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, all of them.
Nice.
And these aren't just like generic templates either.
Oh.
They're designed using your brand's colors, fonts, and logo.
Oh, wow.
So your social media matches the rest of your branding.
I've seen so many brands with like amazing websites, and then their social media looks totally different.
Yeah.
And I think that inconsistency can be really damaging.
It can, yeah. But Looka gets it.
Okay.
They even give you templates for like all different types of content, from profile pictures to cover images, post layouts, even story graphics.
Just like having a social media manager built right in.
You could say that. They give you everything you need to
Yeah.
make content that looks good and reinforces your message.
That's awesome. And I'm assuming these templates are customizable too.
Of course. Looka gets that you need flexibility.
Right.
So you can easily tweak the templates, add your own text, swap out images, even use your own video clips.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
That level of customization is so key for making content that feels, you know, genuine and engaging.
Right.
Looka seems like a one-stop shop for all things branding.
Right.
But let's get practical. How much does all of this cost?
So Looka actually has different pricing plans
Okay.
to fit different needs and budgets. They even have a free plan
Oh.
where you can like test out the logo maker
Nice.
and see all the different design options.
I like that. That's great for people who want to, try it before they buy it.
Totally.
What about the paid plans?
So their basic plan is perfect if you just need a logo. You get those high-resolution files and some basic branding guidelines if you want more. They have the premium plan. That includes the brand kit, social media templates, and even a website builder.
A website builder. That's like next level.
It is. And then for bigger businesses or agencies, they've got the enterprise plan with like priority support and custom design services.
Wow. So there's really a plan for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see why Looka is getting so much attention. They're offering a ton of tools
Yeah.
at prices that, lots of different people can afford.
Yeah.
But how do they stack up against other design and branding platforms? There are so many options out there these days.
That's true. The market's definitely getting crowded. But I think Looka stands out for a few reasons. Like, their AI logo generation is really innovative. It's not just picking from, like, pre-made templates. The AI actually creates unique designs just for you.
Right, that personalization is huge.
Yeah.
What else?
Their brand kit is also a big plus. It doesn't just give you a logo. It gives you everything you need to make a whole brand identity, like brand guidelines, marketing materials, everything.
Yeah.
And their pricing is really competitive.
You get a lot for your money.
Totally.
But let's be real, no platform is perfect.
Right.
Are there any downsides to using Looka?
Yeah. I mean, one potential drawback is the AI, even though it's sophisticated, it might not like perfectly capture your creative vision.
Right.
So it's still important to look at the designs and make edits to make sure they truly represent your brand.
So it's not a set it and forget it solution. You still have to be involved in the design process.
Exactly, yeah. It's about using the AI as a tool to help you, not like completely replace you. And of course, there's always the risk that as AI design gets more popular, we might see like a homogenization of brands.
Meaning brands might start looking too similar
Yeah.
if everyone's using the same algorithms.
Exactly, that's the worry. But I think that's where human creativity comes in. You know, it's up to designers and brand owners to use these tools thoughtfully to like push the boundaries and make their brands stand out.
So it's a balancing act.
Totally.
Embracing the power of AI, but like keeping that human touch.
Yeah.
That makes a brand special.
Exactly.
Well, this has been really eye-opening.
It has.
Welcome back to our final part of our Looka deep dive. We've really gone through the platform's features, seen some real-world examples, even talked about the pros and cons. But now, let's step back a little bit. What does the rise of, AI-powered design like Looka actually mean for the future of branding itself?
That's a great question, and one that's causing like a lot of debate in the design world right now. I think on the one hand, there's this excitement about the potential for democratization.
Right.
Tools like Looka, they're making professional quality design accessible to basically anyone, regardless of budget or, technical skill.
No, that's a huge change. It used to be that.
Right.
Like, only big companies with tons of money could afford to have, truly impactful branding.
Exactly. But now, a small business owner, they can use Looka to create a logo and a brand identity that's just as good as what a big agency might make, and for way less money.
Right.
And I think that could lead to like a much more diverse and vibrant branding landscape
Yeah.
with all these, unique brands popping up everywhere.
Yeah. It's exciting to think about all the creative potential that's being unlocked. But I can also see the other side of that. Like, if everyone has access to the same AI tools, won't all brands start to look the same?
That's a valid concern, but I think it kind of overlooks the role of human creativity, AI can provide that starting point, the framework, but ultimately it's the human who decides how to use those tools, how to shape the final product, and how to infuse it with their own unique vision.
So it's not about AI replacing designers. It's more about AI giving designers new tools to work with to kind of push the boundaries, right?
Exactly. Think of it like photography. The camera didn't like destroy the art of photography.
Oh,
It just changed it. Photographers had these new tools to capture images.
Yeah.
But it still took a skilled artist to, compose a shot, play with light and shadow. and convey emotion through a photograph.
That's a great analogy. AI is like a new lens for designers, in a way, a new way to see and create.
Totally.
But it still takes like a human eye and a human heart
Yeah.
to make something truly meaningful.
Absolutely. And I actually think AI can help us be more creative in new ways.
Really?
Yeah, it can generate unexpected combinations of elements, suggest color palettes we might not have thought of, and like push us to think outside the box.
So instead of like fearing AI, we can see it as a partner, a
Exactly.
collaborator in the creative process.
Yeah, it's about finding that balance, that sweet spot
Yeah,
between the power of technology and the human touch.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of the human touch, another potential impact of AI is, this increased personalization in branding.
Oh.
Can you talk about that a bit more?
Sure. Imagine a world where brands can like tailor their visual identity to individual customers
Whoa.
based on their preferences, past interactions, even their mood in the moment.
Okay, that sounds a little sci-fi.
I know, right? But AI is making that kind of hyper-personalization possible.
How would that even work?
Well, as AI gathers more data about us, like our online behavior, our purchase history, social media interactions, it can create these like detailed profiles of our tastes and preferences. And then brands can use that information to like adapt their logos, colors, fonts, even their messaging to appeal to each individual person.
So a favorite clothing brand might show me a logo
Yeah.
with a bolder font and brighter colors, if they know that's what I like.
Exactly. Or like a travel company might change its imagery based on, your past trips or your travel bucket list.
All right.
It's about creating a more like intimate and personalized experience, making customers feel seen and understood.
Yeah, I could see that leading to more brand loyalty. People are more likely to connect with brands that feel like they get them.
Totally. And this is where, again, AI and human creativity come together. So the AI provides the data and the tools to personalize at scale,
Right.
but it's still the human designers who make sure that the brand's like core identity stays the same
Makes sense.
and that the personalization feels authentic and not just gimmicky.
So it's fascinating to think about all these possibilities and challenges that AI brings. As we wrap up our Looka deep dive, what's the one thing our listeners should remember about the future of branding?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the future of branding isn't about AI versus humans. It's about AI with humans. It's about using these new tools to be more creative, to personalize experiences, and to build brands that are both visually stunning and meaningful.
I love that. Looka is just one example of how AI is shaping design and branding. And it's an exciting time to be a part of it, to see where this fusion of technology and human creativity will take us. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of branding. We'll see you next time.